Asura killed 3 leader of Peak in the last episode? The matter of Song Rain escaping was simply reported to the sect leader, but the sect leader is not very convinced. All 4 leader of Peak have secretly practiced evil art. Song Rain didn't say so. She accused you of colluding with the feral beast palace lord to seek revenge, and killed 3 leader of Peak. What evidence do you have for saying she colluded with the evil cult? Asura started speaking in riddles. Does she have any evidence to say that I killed the 3 leaders of Peak? If not, I will not admit it. Sect leader made a sarcastic comment upon hearing this. I didn't expect that not only have your skills improved, but your cheek has also thickened so much. 2 maids covering their mouths laughed softly. Just at that moment, the window behind Asura was suddenly pierced by several arrow feathers. Sect leader invited Asura for a discussion on the matter of killing the 3 leaders of Peak. Unexpectedly, she was plotted against by Song Rain. At the critical moment, her life hung by a thread. Asura made a move to save the sect leader. Just as Asura was still debating with the sect leader, the window behind suddenly pierced by several arrow feathers. An arrow even grazed past sect leader's delicate body. Sect leader reacted swiftly, instantly using vital chi to make the arrow feathers tremble. After a woman serving in the bedchamber accidentally gets shot in the arm, her skin unexpectedly begins to ulcerate. Asura saw the situation. He plunged directly into the sect leader's bathtub, dodged the flying arrows. After diving underwater, he unexpectedly discovered that beside him was the sect leader's fair skin. Asura inspected the sect leader's body thoroughly. He immediately spurted out a trace of nosebleed. Sect leader also leaped up at this moment. Confronted with several arrows, she gathered vital chi in her palm. Then, the vital chi directly shook off all the flying arrows. Then she used water drops as hidden weapons. The water drops flew out swiftly, killing all the assassins outside the hall. Asura is floating in the bathtub at the moment. He couldn't help but sigh as he stared at the sect leader in the air. Is she over 100 years old? It's really not easy. One must work hard to cultivate at the same time. She also needs to keep her figure at the same time. The sect leader seems to have noticed Asura's burning gaze. She turned her head directly and angrily scolded. You are really a bold and daring guy. I will gouge out your eyeballs and crush them. Just at that moment, 2 stronger hidden weapons suddenly shot towards the sect leader. After dodging low to avoid them, the sect leader's figure also landed. Seeing the arrival of 2 familiar faces, the sect leader's face turned dark. No wonder the assassins were able to sneak into the main hall without a sound. So it was you 2 causing all this mischief. Why did you betray me? Asura watched quietly as this scene unfolded. I didn't expect that even the 2 chief protectors in front of the sect leader would turn traitor. The 2 elderly men had equally grim expressions. They directly threatened to kill the sect leader. The sect leader showed a hint of disdain. Just based on, she staggered back with a wilted figure. The fat old man smiled as he looked at the evil flame in his hand. Do you really think we are clueless? Haven't you noticed something different about tonight's herbal bath? The sect leader scolded the 2. Aren't you worried about the retaliation from the Tai sect disciples? The 2 reassured the sect leader. After we kill you, will you still be worried about not having a scapegoat? Tomorrow, the news of Asura conspiring with the feral beast palace lord to assassinate the sect leader will spread throughout the world. The originally watching drama Asura inexplicably became a scapegoat. Asura uses the 9 revolutions tyrant eyes. He also discovered that there is a secret passage under the sect leader's feet. Now it seems that he absolutely cannot let the sect leader die. The old man no longer spoke much. He directly gathered palm wind and struck at the sect leader, who managed to block the killing move. However, he was still poisoned badly. The fat old man's figure leaped to the front of the sect leader. He kicked her flying with one kick. The sect leader's delicate body violently crashed into the ground. Before the sect leader could even get up, the fat old man raised the long sword above his head, revealing a sinister smile. If it weren't for the urgency of the situation, he would really like to savor your body. Before the sound could even fade, Asura's body leaped into the air. He carried the sacred weapon and fiercely slashed towards the fat old man's head. The old man stepped back, evading this fierce sword strike. The two of them didn't expect that Asura would dare to come and rescue someone. Asura smiled as he revealed his sacred weapon. I don't want to be a scapegoat. I have to resist, right? But the two old men showed a trace of disdain. Even if you have managed to kill 3 liters of peak, you are only at the chi condensation 3rd layer cultivation level. Facing us at the celestial origin stage, do you think you stand a chance? Asura suddenly hugged the sect leader and smiled. I never aimed to defeat you all. As long as I can escape, that will be enough. He then swung the sacred weapon and smashed it fiercely on the ground beneath his feet. Powerful sword intent, directly shattering the entire Tai Hall. The fat and thin old men looked at the ruins under their feet, not knowing what to do. Song Rain and the man in black robes also arrived at the scene at this moment. After everyone gathered, they planned to seal off the scene and then search slowly. Song Rain is worried about Emperor Luo. Can only plead with this black-robed senior brother to deal with them as soon as possible. The leader of Peak has arrived. They were then dealt with by the skinny and fat old men. He was sent away with just a few words by Song Rain. Asura and sect leader are also present at this moment. Appeared in the secret passage of Tai sect. Asura slashed open Tai Hall and rescued the sect leader. Sect leader originally intended to use the spiritual chi left by the previous generations of sect leaders to recover from his injuries. Unexpectedly, all of this spiritual chi was absorbed by the egg given by Asura's third sister. The spirit beast inside the egg has also hatched. Asura couldn't help but sigh after putting down the sect leader. Fortunately, there is a secret passage hidden under Tai Peak, otherwise, there would have been no escape today. The sect leader then asked, This is the secret of the Tai sect. How did you come to know about it? Asura couldn't say. The 9 revolutions tyrant body he cultivated naturally comes with the tyrant eyes. He could only come up with an excuse to get through it. My eyes can not only see beautiful women clearly, but also see the flow of spiritual chi. When this was said, sect leader immediately felt that this kid was extraordinary. He then began to explain about the secret chamber. In the room further down, there is stored the lifelong effort of every sect leader, so the spiritual chi is abundant there. Immediately, the sect leader asked Asura to help and support him to the secret chamber for detoxification and healing. The two of them had just taken 2 steps when the ground above them started to shake. The two of them also understood that their pursuers behind had already discovered the secret passage. Before sect leader could react, Asura swiftly picked her delicate body up. He dashed towards the front suddenly. After a quarter of an hour, the duo arrived at the secret chamber. They pushed open the door, and saw several crystal balls emitting spiritual chi in the room. Asura couldn't help but exclaim in surprise. The richness of the spiritual chi was visibly apparent. Even if 100 experts at the celestial origin stage were here to cultivate, the spiritual chi of this place would be more than enough to help them break through to the Eternal King stage. The sect leader stepped forward slowly, reminding Asura to absorb as much spiritual chi as possible. Consider it a reward for you. However, Asura refused the sect leader's kind offer. His 9 revolutions tyrant body absorbed spiritual chi too aggressively. I'm worried it might scare her. The sect leader no longer beat around the bush. He sat down cross-legged and began to absorb spiritual chi to heal his injuries. Just as Asura was marveling at the secret room's architecture, spiritual chi began to flow continuously into Asura's body. The sect leader angrily rebuked, What have you done? Why did you absorb all the spiritual chi? Asura was surprised at the words. He didn't do anything. Just when sect leader was about to teach him a lesson, Asura hurriedly took out the egg given by the third egg. The two stared as the primal chi kept gathering into the egg, astonished. After absorbing for a quarter of an hour, the eggshell began to crack. It seemed like it would break open soon. At the foot of Tai Peak at the same time, Asura's group of relatives and friends are rushing to Tai Peak. Lyra is behind, asking worriedly, how could Tai Peak suddenly collapse? Will senior brother be okay? When Asura's third sister heard this, her face darkened. She immediately wanted to summon the soul-devouring demon bee to destroy the entire Tai sect. Emperor Luo was so frightened that he broke out in a cold sweat on the side. He quickly spoke up, asking Asura's third sister to calm down. Just then, the ground beneath their feet suddenly began to shake. Just as the three of them were surprised, an energy beam broke through the clouds from Asura's location. Song Rain and the others were equally shocked by this energy. The third sister seems to have figured it out. Is that beam of golden light a joke from the sacred beast egg she gave? How did this brat hatch in just one day? Emperor Luo seems to still not understand Asura's third sister's meaning. The golden light at Asura's location slowly dissipated. The sect leader tried hard to suppress his laughter on the side. Asura looked somewhat surprised at the scenery in front of him. Is this my spirit beast? It looks really strange, doesn't it? Don't be fooled by its cute appearance now. It's very powerful. And its bloodline is that of the three ancient sacred beasts, the celestial devouring beast. This cute creature is actually a chaos sacred beast. Asura looked at the sacred beast that had just hatched from the egg with a look of disgust on his face. It looks too weird, doesn't it? The celestial devouring beast seemed to understand what he meant. It looked at Asura with a cute but fierce expression. The sect leader explained on the side. With a lion head and dragon body, dual wings on its back, and standing on a cloud, this is actually the celestial devouring beast, one of the chaos sacred beasts. Asura pursed his lips and quietly asked a question. Is this stupid look really from an ancient sacred beast? As soon as this statement was made, the celestial devouring beast was immediately agitated. It directly opened its cute but fierce big mouth and pounced towards Asura. Unexpectedly, when its body had just flown halfway, it was grabbed by Asura. Asura looked at the celestial devouring beast in his hand and began to scold it. You have a small head but a big temper. Do you still want to bite people after I scold you a bit? Celestial devouring beast is now holding back its power with pursed lips. Then, it suddenly spewed a blaze of fire onto Asura's head, watching as the flames completely engulfed Asura. It then belched in satisfaction. The sect leader reacted quickly, directly releasing a layer of water shield outside the body. Asura, however, was not so lucky, as being so close resulted in his body being burned to charcoal directly. Asura's face darkened. He then took out the sacred weapon and held it against the neck of the celestial devouring beast. I raised you with great effort. How dare you breathe fire at me? The celestial devouring beast was instantly frightened, breaking out in a cold sweat. Just then, the voice of the sect leader sounded from behind them. Taming a spirit beast cannot be achieved by brute force. The more advanced the spirit beast, the more skill is needed. You should try to appease it first. Seek help from your sister when we get out. Asura lifted the celestial devouring beast and began to ponder the sect leader's advice to appease it. Just then, the celestial devouring beast's stomach rumbled like thunder. Asura smiled upon seeing this. After a few breaths, the sect leader, who was healing, suddenly woke up from a disturbance caused by a scent. As she looked around, she actually discovered that this little brat was barbecuing in the sacred grounds of the Tai sect. Asura picked up the barbecue chicken that was cooked. The celestial devouring beast was excitedly scraping its claws at the side. Asura brought the roast chicken in front of the celestial devouring beast. He shook it twice and asked, Do you want to eat? As long as you behave and become my bound spirit beast, I guarantee you will eat and drink well. The celestial devouring beast nodded enthusiastically and was immediately won over by the food. The celestial devouring beast, who was wolfing down the food, smiled upon seeing Asura. The sect leader spoke up on the side to train it. Do you think using food to buy its loyalty is reliable? However, Asura was indifferent. Your two trusted aides are both traitors. So don't try to lecture me. As soon as these words were spoken, the sect leader instantly stood up. Just as she was about to speak in anger, the poison inside her body flared up once again. Asura quickly stepped forward to help support her. Don't move around randomly when the internal injury is so severe. The sect leader unexpectedly said that the golden dam was damaged. Even with spiritual chi, the poison cannot be forced out. Before Asura could react in surprise, the sect leader's voice continued to ring out. They have arrived. You must flee quickly. As the words fell, the hidden passage in the secret chamber was also discovered by 3 traitors. The 3 individuals also sensed the surge of spiritual chi. They hurriedly rushed forward. Asura uses the 9 revolutions tyrant eyes to check sect leader's injuries. He found that the sect leader's meridians were completely severed. It is impossible for her to use internal energy to heal herself. Just then, 3 sets of footsteps suddenly came from outside the secret room. Asura revealed his 9 revolutions tyrant body. He absorbed all spiritual chi to help the sect leader repair his golden dam. Then he tempted his spiritual pet, the celestial devouring beast, with food to resist the evil cult. Asura's 9 revolutions tyrant eyes discovered the sect leader's injuries. The sound of footsteps from 3 members of the evil cult slowly approached the secret room. The sect leader gathered the last bit of vital chi. She lowered the door to the dark room. Song Rain led the 2 people to forcefully ram the stone door from the outside. Asura listened to the vibrations caused by the attack. Asura couldn't help but sigh. What a hot-tempered woman. The sect leader pointed to a secret passage and urged Asura to leave quickly. Asura unexpectedly appeared behind the sect leader. His voice followed. What's the joke? As a disciple of the Tai sect, abandoning this sect leader and fleeing for his own life at a critical moment goes against my life principles. He faced the sect leader's puzzled inquiry. Asura unleashed the 9 revolutions tyrant body as the only way to explain. My tyrant eyes can see the damage to your meridians. I can guide vital chi to bypass the break and repair your golden dam. Without waiting for the sect leader to hesitate, Asura gathered vital chi in his palm and fiercely slapped the sect leader's delicate body. As vital chi continued to be infused, Asura quickly realized that his own vital chi was insufficient to repair the sect leader's golden dam. He needs to absorb all the spiritual chi here into his body and refine it. He then released the 9 revolutions tyrant body. The massive spiritual chi around all poured into Asura's body. At the foot of Tai Peak at the same time, Asura's family and friends are running towards sect leader Peak. At this moment, a ghostly figure suddenly appeared behind them. Old Luo reacted quickly. He quickly turned around and confronted it head-on. After the 2 made contact, a terrifying explosion swept through the area. Old Luo's figure also leaped out from the smoke. Lyra exclaimed anxiously on the side, only to see Old Luo now holding onto his abdominal wound, with a hint of confusion. The evil cult's assassination group. How did you end up here? Are you planning to go to war with the Tai sect? Asura's 3rd sister interrupted his angry rebuke. Since she's already standing here, why ask more questions? Just fight. Seeing the imposing presence of Asura's 3rd sister, the people from the evil cult made up their minds. They originally had no intention of having conflicts with the feral beast palace. But since you have a connection with Asura, it's better to cut off future troubles. Upon hearing the name Asura, Lyra was surprised and quickly asked where Asura was and what had happened to him. Just then, numerous members of the black-robed assassination group suddenly appeared. At the same time in the sealed room, Song Rain finally shattered the stone door of the sealed room. Just entered the sealed room, she found Asura helping the sect leader recover from his injuries. The 3 of them were puzzled. They even thought that Asura had gone crazy. Song Rain directly condensed a purple energy ball and threw it at the two of them. As the energy ball continued to approach sect leader, two old men directly saluted. Praise Song Rain as sect leader's song. At a critical moment, Asura's spiritual pet celestial devouring beast stepped forward and stood in front of the energy ball. Why is this little guy so obedient? It's because Asura just asked this little guy if he wanted to eat charcoal grilled fat lamb. Fresh, tender, and juicy young lamb, placed on charcoal fire to roast until fragrant, then brushed with Yi family's secret barbecue sauce. And so, the celestial devouring beast became Asura's little fanboy. Even without establishing a contract relationship, it was still conquered by Asura's barbecue skills. As the energy ball approached relentlessly, the celestial devouring beast actually opened its mouth directly. It swallowed the terrifying energy ball in one gulp. Seeing this scene, two elderly traders were also surprised. What is this thing? Asura praised from behind. Well done! After going out, I will definitely treat you to grilled lamb. The little celestial devouring beast heard the excitement and let out a cry. Who would have expected that the celestial devouring beast was actually very satisfied with this powerful energy ball? It even started licking its lips in satisfaction. This cute creature is actually the chaos sacred beast celestial devouring beast. Even though it has not established the divine beast binding with Asura, but it is still tempted by Asura's 10 roasted baby lamb. It rushed forward and swallowed the energy balls from Asura and the other person in one gulp. Afterwards, it surprisingly started belching full. Song Rain sees the situation and immediately grabs the long sword, intending to chop it down together. Unexpectedly, the celestial devouring beast suddenly spews out a burst of flames. Before Song Rain could react in surprise, the fierce flames directly sent the three flying. At this moment, Song Rain's clothes were once again burned to ashes. The celestial devouring beast, however, enjoyed the fullness of its meal. At this moment, Asura began to emit a rich golden light from his body. He helped the sect leader repair the golden Dan, and the process is coming to an end. The old man lying on the ground quickly realized that something was wrong. He opened his mouth and exclaimed in surprise. Song Rain didn't care about the clothes on her body. She raised her sword and stabbed directly towards the celestial devouring beast. At this moment, Asura leaped backwards. He directly blocked Song Rain's powerful sword energy with his physical body. Asura's clothes on the outside. Surprisingly, it shattered together with Song Rain's precious sword. Song Rain couldn't hide his surprise. Asura has now activated the third layer of the 9 Revolutions Golden Bone in 9 Revolutions Tyrant Body. Asura looked to the side at the 3 people charging towards him. He was just about to demonstrate his own strength. The sect leader suddenly opened his eyes wide at this moment. She instantly leaped over Asura and headed straight for the 2 traitorous old men. The sect leader gripped the necks of the 2 traitors with both hands, pressing them against the wall. Seeing this scene, Song Rain could not believe it. This is impossible. How is the poison in you cured? After sect leader killed 2 elderly men, sect leader turned his head and revealed a fierce look. Song Rain, you really disappoint me. Sect leader's voice rang out. Song Rain quickly turned and fled. She thought that her speed was unmatched by anyone in Tai's sect. Little did she know that her plan had just failed. Above her head came the voice of the sect leader asking, "Where do you think you're going?" Only to see the sect leader holding Asura with celestial devouring beast in his arms appeared in front of her. This wind falls down. Song Rain falls from the sky to the ground. The sect leader gathers vital chi in front of him. Relentless taunts, relying on your meager abilities. You still want to replace me? You are the true waste. Unexpectedly, Song Rain actually pulled out a dagger and suddenly stabbed it into his own chest. As the dagger pierced through his body, Song Rain spat out a mouthful of blood. After she pulled out the dagger, fresh blood continuously gushed out from her waist. Song Rain activated her blood to perform the evil art and attempted to flee. The sect leader's face turned dark upon seeing the situation. She immediately shot out the vital chi in her hand with a powerful force, directly causing the surrounding ground to be lifted up with flying debris. Before the energy could approach Song Rain, it was immediately devoured by his blood energy. Her figure then disappeared in this area. The sect leader stared at the large hole above his head. Her voice was grim as she said, "Do you think you can escape?" Outside the mountain peaks at the same time, only 3 friends of Asura could be seen, engaged in a fierce battle with the evil cult assassination group. Although Asura's third sister self-proclaims her cultivation level, she is not someone that this group of trash can shake. Lyra effortlessly slays this group of assassins. At this moment, the current leader of the evil cult suddenly swings his sword at Lyra. Lyra quickly dodges backward. The leader showed a sinister smile. As expected, the disciple trained by junior sister. "Come back with me to the evil cult." Lyra angrily accused Song Rain of colluding with outsiders to kill her fellow sect members. "I am no longer her disciple." Asura's third sister stood in front of Lyra. She taunted, "Stop boasting. Today, you will also die here for me." At this moment, all the blood on the ground unexpectedly began to fly towards the sky. Before the 3 could even be surprised, the leader's voice rang out. "In order to create this technique, the 6 Paths sect sacrificed countless disciples. You should feel the supreme glory." The fierce blood chi is now pressing towards the sky at this moment. Evil cult uses human blood to forcefully trigger the heavenly tribulation. Tai sect is in crisis. Asura uses the 9 revolutions tyrant eyes to find the formation core. Asura's third sister sensed something was wrong. Her palm suddenly grabbed towards the spellcaster. Upon her palm making contact, the figure instantly disappeared. The third sister scolded, "I knew you were suspicious from the beginning." Indeed, it was puppet art. Only to see Song Rain already merging with the mountain peak. Asura and sect leader had just flown out, only to be stunned by the scene before their eyes. Lyra's voice suddenly sounded under the feet of the 2. Old Luo recounted the matter of the heavenly tribulation in detail. Then he gestured for sect leader to lead the disciples of each peak to evacuate. Sect leader angrily retorted with a sentence, "Nonsense! How could my Tai sect be scared away by a forbidden arts?" Sect leader looked up at the heavenly tribulation continuously radiating pressure above his head. She angrily shouted, displaying. Old Luo asked on the side, "Can Asura's third sister sect leader withstand the heavenly tribulation?" The third sister thinks not. The sect leader of Tai sect can overcome the heavens. Only to see the sect leader condensing his own vital chi to resist the pressure released by the heavenly tribulation. The 2 have just made contact. Countless blue veins appeared on the sect leader's face. Asura's body language revealed the message to the 3 people. The sect leader can't hold on for much longer. Lyra rushed towards the heavenly tribulation upon hearing this. She wanted to help the sect leader resist the crisis together. Old Luo also followed closely behind. Just as Asura was about to step forward, the third sister stopped him. "Fool, your approach is useless. Hurry up and use the 9 revolutions tyrant eyes to locate where the formation core is. Destroying the formation core will help to unravel the heavenly tribulation." Asura responded with a nod then. He then used the 9 revolutions tyrant eyes technique to look towards the sky. The third sister reminded him beside. Typically, a formation has 1 to 3 formation cores. Asura stared at the sky. He unexpectedly found a total of 6 formation cores. The third sister is also unheard of. But as long as one of them is destroyed, it's enough. Asura leads the third sister to break the situation. Later, he called on the 3 people in the air to hold on. The sect leader also believes in this boy who continues to create miracles. At this moment, disciples from various peaks of the Tai sect came to support. Seeing this scene, the leader of the evil cult directly led Song Rain to leave. But Song Rain was worried. They were looking for a way to break the formation. The leader assured him, "The person in charge of controlling this formation is the most powerful help that I spent a lot of effort persuading to come out of the sect." At the same time, in the formation core, a venerable is controlling the formation core. Just at this moment, Asura condensed fist wind and suddenly struck the back of the venerable. The old man's body emitted vital chi to block Asura's punch. But he was also surprised. He didn't expect that it was the Tai sect that first discovered him. It turned out to be a young kid. The younger generation indeed deserves respect. "It's just a pity. You were a big green if you wanted to ambush me." Asura smiled. "Of course, I didn't intend to succeed. I just wanted to distract your attention." The old man's eyes narrowed at the words. Just then, a wriggling giant worm suddenly surged out from underfoot and swallowed it in one gulp. Seeing the giant worm swallow the old man, Asura couldn't help but feel excited. The third sister kindly reminded from behind, "It just swallowed him. Doesn't necessarily mean it can kill him." But Asura didn't care as long as the heavenly tribulation was disrupted. The third sister looked up at the sky. The array was losing the support of a formation core, and the pressure stopped. Witnessing this scene, Lyra couldn't help but exclaim, "Senior brother is amazing." Asura broke the heavenly tribulation. But he is in danger. The third sister directly wants to lift her own seal upon seeing the situation. Kill the old man. At the last moment, Asura's sixth sister arrived in time. Asura watched as the old man was devoured by the giant bug, still without any reaction. Unable to help it, he asked, "You're not dead, are you?" The third sister, however, let him give up hope. Those who can summon such a heavenly tribulation will not be easily killed. Just as the voice fell, the giant bug was instantly chopped into pieces from the inside. The old man's voice also rang out, "Netherworld giant worm." Unexpectedly, Tai sect was able to get help from Feral Beast's palace. It seems that this surprise attack on Tai sect is the right move. Otherwise, given time, my six-path sect would be in danger. The third sister looked at the old man in golden armor, and couldn't help but sigh at the extravagance of the six-path sect. All to completely destroy the financial resources of the Tai sect. However, the old man kindly reminded, "We have no intention of making enemies with the Feral Beast Palace. It's better for this fellow Taoist not to meddle in this matter." Unexpectedly, the third sister directly agreed, saying, "Fine, I won't meddle. You guys go ahead and fight." Upon hearing this, Asura couldn't help but be surprised. "My sister, are you really willing to betray your teammate like this?" Unexpectedly, the third sister struck a charming pose and flirted with Asura. "Let me see if your cultivation level has improved, big sister." Just at that moment, the old man interrupted the conversation between the two with a kick from afar. Asura ducked low to avoid it. He looked at the old man's strength of chopping down a mountain peak with one foot. Couldn't help but exclaim, "What kind of monster is this?" Just at that moment, the third sister's voice suddenly sounded, "Don't get distracted." Asura didn't have time to react. He was immediately pinned to the ground with a kick. But at this moment, the old man was also sweating profusely. This kick was powerful enough to sever Asura's body. Why is he completely unscathed? The third sister smiled when she saw it, and indeed guessed right. It seems that this kid has made progress in cultivating another layer of his divine skills. The elder condensed vital chi to pressure Asura, who only has the chi condensation stage cultivation level, and managed to cultivate golden bone. "How did you do it?" Seeing Asura not speaking, the elder directly condensed a dagger, intending to slowly study and extract his bones. The third sister saw this, and lightly nibbled her red lips. She didn't want her precious little brother to really confess here. She wanted to take out this old guy. She was afraid she had to lift the seal she had set. At that moment, a long spear suddenly shot down from the sky. The third sister was startled. How did this girl suddenly appear? Only to see Asura's sixth sister's voice suddenly resounding from the sky. the tiny six-path sect dares to defy the ban. They trespassed into the territory of the tiny sect and engaged in a big fight. Do they want to be wiped out? Just at that moment, the sect leader of the tiny sect and a group of disciples. They are also rushing to the location where Asura is. The sect leader looked at the six figures in the distance. She revealed a sinister smile. Sure enough, it was these six old fellows. Very good, very good. Since you've come to my tiny sect to cause trouble, you might as well leave your lives here as well. At this moment, the five old men also descended from the sky. The leading old man gave a salute and spoke to Asura's sixth sister. Since Long Emperor has appeared, let's temporarily cease fire. Farewell. The sixth sister responded with an acknowledgement. Just then, the voice of the sect leader rang out. You have turned my tiny sect upside down. Do you still want to leave? The sect leader condensed vital chi to perform the devil's suppression spell. She directly surrounded the six old men. The sixth sister spoke up to remind sect leader Lo not to forget the vow he made in front of the Long Emperor back then. Within the Great Chu territory, all sects are not allowed to engage in private disputes. You should weigh the importance of matters yourself. Asura stood quietly on the side listening to the sixth sister's dissuasion. Old Luo also reminded sect leader Long Emperor from behind that private fights among sects are highly discouraged. It's time to stop it now. The sect leader forcefully expelled his own vital energy and coldly spat out one word. Leave! The six elders immediately leaped into the air. As one elder was leaving, he couldn't help but inquire to Asura. Boy, the cultivation technique you practice is not from the tiny sect. Where did you learn these techniques and methods? Asura extended his middle finger and spat out four words. Mind your own business. Long Emperor issued an imperial decree. The battle of the prodigies among the major sects will commence in 7 days. Asura's two elder sisters are preparing to take Asura out to undergo the devil's trial. As Asura raised his middle finger, scaring away the six elders. Before leaving, he did not forget to leave a tough message. Kid, you've got guts. You'd better never encounter me again. Asura's master, however, fell into contemplation. The sect leader knows now. The techniques and methods that Asura cultivates are not from the Tai sect. They will definitely blame him for this. But he doesn't know. Various things happened between Asura and the sect leader in the secret chamber. The sect leader also suddenly called out Emperor Luo's name at that moment. Who would have expected that the sect leader unexpectedly reinstated him to his position as the inner leader of Peak? He is now in charge of rebuilding the sect. Asura started praising the sixth sister behind her back, saying that as the supreme marshal of the Legion, she truly lives up to her reputation. Even the immortal cultivation world has to give her some respect. The sixth sister then spoke up and said that they are just afraid of the Long Emperor behind me. The third sister also asked on the side, How did you come back so quickly? Did you receive any intelligence? The sixth sister had set up spies at the foot of the mountain, intending to keep an eye on everyone's father, but unexpectedly ended up inadvertently helping Tai's sect. Asura also scratched his head and said, Older sister, you still don't trust me? I promise you, as soon as father returns, I will report to you. The third sister and the sixth sister interrupted him. They both criticized in unison. Men are unreliable. Even pigs can climb trees. Do you think we don't know that you two are of the same mind? At this moment, sect leader respectfully spoke up. Anyway, thank you, Marshal Churyu, for helping out. The sixth sister responded with a polite acknowledgement. However, sect leader is also very scheming. She questioned, If the Six Paths sect didn't have the support of Long Emperor, would they dare to attack our sect? I don't believe it. Upon hearing this, sixth sister also realized that there may be some secret motives behind it. Just at that moment, a long steed carried the two of them. Appearing above the gate of Tai's sect, the Long Emperor unexpectedly decreed to open the contest of the celestial prodigies 7 days later. Watching the departing figure of the long steed, the sixth sister fell into contemplation. The Great Chu's martial trial has not been held for 10 years, fearing that it may escalate conflicts among the sections. Why did this happen so suddenly? The sect leader timidly spoke on the side. It's simple. Because the Tai sect and Six Paths sect are at odds. Rather than the two sects fighting, it's better to let the disciples of each sect duel. Upon hearing this, the sixth sister leaped up directly, intending to catch up and ask for clarification. After the sixth sister left, the sect leader's gaze suddenly turned to Asura. She doesn't care at all about what kind of medicine the Long Emperor is selling. She's more concerned about whether Asura can go to Long City and kick the butts of those bastards from the Six Paths sect. Once this statement is made, Asura is under tremendous pressure. The time has come to midnight. Only saw Asura leisurely drinking wine. Very chic. A group of interns' disciples saw Asura and greeted him with bows and salutes one after another. Asura, drinking wine, fell into contemplation. These little scoundrels. In the past, they wouldn't even say hello when they saw him. Now when they see him, they dare not even let out a fart randomly. Truly outstanding fence-sitters. His thinking hasn't settled yet. The sixth sister suddenly punched Asura, smashing his head into the wine gourd. Asura stared at the lump on his head, then turned to ask the sixth sister, "Hey sis, what are you doing?" The sixth sister looked at the bump on his head, her tone softening a bit as she spoke. "What time is it now? You don't practice diligently, but still have the time to drink. For the upcoming martial arts competition among the major sects in 7 days. Asura's two elder sisters planned to take him out to the mountains and rivers for sightseeing." Just when Asura was leisurely drinking wine, the sixth sister directly gave him a blow to the head. She directly gave him a big bump on the head. Why didn't he seize the time to heed the sixth sister's criticism and cultivate himself? Asura sneered. "Isn't the sect leader still considering it? It's not too late to cultivate after the final allocation of spots is decided." The sixth sister grabbed Asura's handsome face and scolded. "Stop being so careless with your words. You don't have to wait for members of other sects to act. I'll tear you apart first to save face for your sisters." Asura apologized with a whimper. At that moment, Lyra ran to Asura's residence, panting and out of breath. She came to inform Asura that the sect leader had issued an order for Asura to participate in the Great Chu competition. She found only Emperor Luo's figure in the room as soon as she entered. In response to Lyra's inquiry, Emperor Luo told her not to worry. Marshal Churyu in Seraphina Palace Lord took him to cultivate. Since becoming husband and wife with Asura, Lyra has been a bit silly. Immediately after that, she asked Emperor Luo, "Aren't you Asura's master? Why didn't he let you go?" Emperor Luo looked helpless. This little girl really hits the nail on the head. In front of these two, how can he be qualified to teach Asura? On the other side, the sixth sister is explaining the rules of the martial trial competition once again. Normally, the Long Emperor holds the martial trial competition every 3 years to showcase outstanding participants. They have the opportunity to become the Long Emperor's direct disciple. Originally, only disciples who have been with the sect for 3 years are allowed to participate. But the last martial trial took place 10 years ago, so the participants this time must all be experts. Asura waved his hand. He showed a hint of disdain. Can a disciple who has only been practicing for 10 years be as talented as Song Rain? The third sister directly rebuked. You fought against Song Rain twice. Wasn't it merely by chance that you defeated her each time? The first time was because you happened to wield the sacred weapon that countered her evil art. The second time was because the sect leader made an appearance. Song Rain was eager to escape for his life, so he did not linger in battle. Asura assured the third sister to rest assured. He possesses the 9 revolutions tyrant body. No enemy is too much for him to handle. Just as the third sister was becoming more angry, the sixth sister stopped her. Immediately, she spoke to inform Asura that cultivating the 9 revolutions tired body has wasted nearly 10 years. As of now, he is only at the chi condensation stage pinnacle. As far as I know, there are quite a few disciples from other sects who meet the competition requirements and have already broken through to the human essence stage. Then her gaze turned cold. She continued to ask, "Do you know what this means?" Asura suddenly felt a bit speechless. The sixth sister continued speaking. "You just thwarted the conspiracy of the Six Paths sect. Now you are even more of a thorn in their side." However, Asura believed there was only 7 days left. "Is it useful to seek last-minute help?" The sixth sister spoke directly. "You have used all your strength to attack me." Just as Asura was surprised, the sixth sister told him not to waste words. "I don't need vital chi. If you can defeat me, I will let you go." Asura was instantly excited upon hearing this. He directly condensed the 9 revolutions tired body outside his body. "Big sister, this is what you said. Don't play dumb." As the voice fell, Fist Wind had already appeared in front of the sixth sister's face. A dramatic scene unfolded. The sixth sister kicked Asura's lower body directly, sending him flying. Immediately, Asura's handsome face uncontrollably smashed into the third sister's chest. Asura's 2 elder sisters took him out for training. The 2 elder sisters walked in front while touring the mountains and playing by the water. The younger brother carried bags big and small behind them. The sixth sister looks at Asura.